Yes, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the Team Gullit YouTube channel. My name is Renzo and today we're back with a brand new video for you guys. And this one is going to be a gameplay analysis between some of the top tier pros, our own, very own Dani Visser taking on Paulo Neto from Atlanta United. It is going to be a very fun game in which you can, well, obviously learn some new stuff. Let's jump into it right away, and as you can see, Paulo Neto will be playing from right to left in this first half with the white-green Atlanta United kits, and Dani Visser is rocking the AZ Alkmaar kits, preparing for the EAFC, which I'm not sure if you're gonna be able to see this, but it is being shown in the top left. I think both players are rocking the 4-3-2-1 at this point, and it's already 1-0 there for Dani Visser with a simple through ball there. Switching the play to the left-hand side, I saw his right back will be unbalanced, pushing up, and yeah, just a simple pass in a little bit of space for Ginola. Here, as you can see, gets a little bit of space, and yeah, that's just typical Ginola, 5-star weak foot. Not too great from Ter Stegen there. I think he could have done more, but it's a very, very simple goal for Dani Visser there. Putting him 1-0 up against Paulo Neto, who is obviously one of the best players in the world. Brazilian player, made the World Cup last season and the season before that. I think even 3 times in a row potentially now, because the year before that it got cancelled. Who strikes back immediately here. Alexia Putellas, my goodness. That was quick. He plays the ball from down the wing into the center of the pitch, gets a little bit of space, typical kickoff situation where not the entire defensive line is set up as well as it could be. Just an R1 dribble, and here's Alexia, just, wow, look at that curve. It's just a Travella shot, very effective there, and what he really did there was just dribbling with R1, getting into the situation where Alexia could have taken it on her left foot, in a position where it would be a Travella shot. So you hold L2 and then just load up the power, and it's simple as that. And here, it's a kind of a sloppy play there from Dani Visser at the start of this game. Anyways, we can see that both players are rocking indeed that 4-3-2-1 formation. It's the most popular formation right now in the pro scene. It's just very, very overpowered. And oh my goodness, what is this game right now? We're looking at the 9th minute and it's already 2-1. I'm watching this gameplay for the first time as well myself. R9 there, getting into some space and taking that finesse shot, green timed to perfection. All I can say is that, well, the long shots are flying in this game for sure, and obviously they always will fly in from these angles. Keeper movement is really tough because the double triangle feature, which pros really use a lot because they then wouldn't have to switch off their defense with the right stick. They used it a lot, but it's not in there anymore. And also the double triangle gives a bit faster movement than you can with the right stick. And as you can see here, as long as you have an R9 timing it green to perfection, it will fly in. But anyway, here again, some very open gameplay as we can see, because the 4-3-2-1 does allow your... Oh, it's sloppy. Is Dani Visser going to get a chance here? Anyways, the 4-3-2-1 is a very attacking-minded formation with that balanced fullback, obviously, but also the balanced midfielder. You're almost looking at a 4-4-2 situation, but with everybody going forward. And here, again, simple as that, just a little bit of space there between the defenders, really just in between them. Mbappe diving in there, and it's just a simple through ball, not even with that much power, and a near post finish from Kylian Mbappe. Not sure if Dani moved his keeper there, but this game is just end-to-end stuff, right? Like, we're just going from attack to attack to attack to attack, and you won't be able to tell if this is a player's mistake or not. Obviously, there is some mistakes there, but this is what I said, like the fact that both these formations and both these players rocking these formations are so attacking minded, the fact that whenever you lose possession, there is space. You have to commit. You have to make guesses sometimes what your opposition is going to do. Here again, we have a corner kick. Corner kick got defended. And then again, there was immediately a space for Mbappe to work into. Dani Visser now trying to control it a bit, and these switch of plays are also very dangerous because when you initially switch to that balanced fullback, there's a lot of space in attack coming up. There we saw some decent keeper movement from Paulo Neto, because if Dani Visser wouldn't have shot that way, he would have easily scored. But yeah, that's sometimes the risk that you have to take. I don't think that keeper movement particularly was good, because he could have moved it backwards and wouldn't have the risk of conceding in the near post if the opposition would have shot there. Here's a good player lock fake from Dani Visser, trying to go for the croqueta past the keeper, but just a little bit too slow, or maybe a little bit too unresponsive at this moment in time, where he tried to go past the keeper. But as you can see, once again, look at Monti and look at the other side. Paulo Neto's playing a very aggressive formation with both fullbacks actually joining the attack, or at least on balance, and that's probably the situation why we're actually looking at this goal scoring feature at the moment that's going on. Goal scoring feast, I wanted to say. Because in transition, Paulo's coming forward with 6 people and you only have 4 defenders, right? And then you have 2 midfielders and 1 midfielder that still needs to transition into a defensive position because he's unbalanced. And I believe that is Putellas for Dani. And I believe it's also Putellas for Paulo Neto. So you're almost looking every time at a man more situation for the attacking team. But this is a very bad mistake from Paulo Neto. But the unnecessary player lock there from Dani Visser. He could have just treated the ball a bit more careful there and he would have gotten into a lot better space there. As you can see here, now they're slowing down the gameplay a bit because they're both realizing that they're very vulnerable, trying to find a bit more passes, not rushing it too much. Here, a good 1-2 combination between the right-hand side from Dani Visser, but good defensive play in the end from Paulo Neto, intercepting that pass. And this is a rash tackle there by Virgil van Dijk, trying to predict the movement from Paulo Neto. Is Dani Visser, Ginola here, getting some space, using some R1 dribbling, dancing, and Mbappe does finish it off. And this is what I mean. That guess there from Dani was, he's almost being forced to make that tackle. That tackle obviously wasn't good. It was a bad play. But you are looking at a situation in this game where you're almost forced to commit to certain situations in order to not concede anyway, or not concede a big chance anyway. But that's just the way that these people play. That has changed this year. We're also looking at 4-back formations, which is only allowed in for a competitive play. And the 4-3-2-1 is just pretty much the easiest to attack in. The hardest possibly to defend, but hey, these players always have more confidence in their goal scoring capabilities than their defensive capabilities in general. Pro players do. Here's Hansen breaking through for Paulo Neto, laying into Alexia, getting a bit fortunate there. Oh, that is a silly goal. We're quickly gonna skip that one and move on back to the kickoff, because that was a tough pill to swallow for Dani Visser, conceding the 4-2 there. And what he should have done better there is just to not commit too easily on the wings. If you commit on the wing and you don't get the ball, you're asking for trouble. Here again, just a quick loss of possession there from Dani Visser. And here again, a fortunate bounce from the block, but he does get it in the end. And yeah, it's just not what you want to see here. Ter Stegen there, getting out of his goal to just intercept that pass. That was a good pass though. Not going to lie. As you can see here, we're back in the 50th minute right now. Still a 4-2 lead for Paulo Neto, who's breaking through here with Mbappe. Mbappe looking to dance on Dani Visser. Is Mbappe, and he just whipped that in for a cross. That's an interesting way of trying to conclude the attack. And this is a bit risky from Dani. Look at the relentless pressure there from Paulo Neto, trying to block out everything. And as you can see here, there is always space on that left or right hand side, gentlemen and ladies, obviously, because there is so much space in this game on the wings, and because we're playing this 4-3-2-1 formation. I also feel like, but correct me if I'm wrong, previous years when playing this 4-3-2-1 formation, the right mid, center mid or left center mid, whichever one you have on balance, trying to cover the center again, or cover the wing again, sorry. dropping back in defense, it takes longer. It takes longer for that player to actually function as that left or right midfielder in defending as a 4-4-2. That's why there's so much space. But correct me if I'm wrong. I feel that way. It could be the totally not true if we're measuring it. But here is a player lock again from Paulo Neto, and an interesting challenge there from Koundé, but he does manage to get the ball in the end, is Dani Visser. And here a good player locking from the right back to your right winger, and then cutting inside and just being available to pass into is a very useful way to build up your attack, because then you're baiting out your opponent to drag out his defender, and João Cancelo in this case will be able to get some space in which you can work a 2-on-1 situation. Like you can see here, Mbappe dropped a bit inside, and Cancelo is able to overlap. Here Mondi as well, being pushed up fairly high, gets a cross in, trying to give a German cross, is Dani Visser, and it does end up rewarding him by a gentle bounce for Ginola, being able to volley that one home. And I'm just going to skip to the kickoff here again, because we don't want to see the celebrations all over again. 4-3, and I normally just tell Dani Visser right now, stay in this formation. Some people do want to press a bit too early. Stay in this formation. See if you can get a couple chances. In about 7 minutes or so, we're just going to put the relentless pressure out, and that's when we're going to try, unless he is obviously being dominated in possession, then you want to maybe switch a bit earlier. And if he's dominant in possession himself, then you might want to drag it a little longer and like just pressure from the 80th minute, because when you're putting that pressure on, it can be instantly over as well, and that could be a bit unfortunate. But here is a good chance, because R9 is reaching Ginola. That's a bit too easy from Dani Visser. He should have just tried to cap possession there, but he wanted to go forward with Ginola and see if he could bait Paulo Neto in a bad defensive mistake. But here we saw the partial team press being used, I think, from Dani Visser whenever he lost the ball, which does mean that there's two players being dragged out of position. And you can see Koundé there, amazing. As long as you can keep your defensive players in position on EA Sports FC, it is very tough to actually take that first touch. Space in behind is really easy to access, but just first touch, dribbling and stuff, the defenders are just so quick and so anticipating on your touches. And obviously, this is a red card. That is a bad challenge. But I didn't expect that to get given a red card. That was a stupid mistake from Dani Visser. Let's skip beyond that, because I don't think he switched, because Mbappe is one of the strikers, and he's just going to go with Ginola and R9 here. R9 dancing, won the ball up high, did Dani Visser. Bellingham trying to go for Trivela. We saw that one coming. I think he was a bit too close to goal. The ball roll was good indeed, but it was a bit too sharp, and cutting in for that ball roll, Trivela, you need to be a bit more upwards the pitch, because the ball just needs some travel time, pretty much, some distance to travel towards goal. Else you're gonna get these type of shots. And there we saw a power shot timed green, near even the fully timed green by Dani Visser, who is actually getting some chances still while being a man down against Paulo Neto. And now, yeah, we're probably gonna see an all out or nothing from Dani Visser, who has to throw everybody forward, because we're just looking at the 90th minute mark in a bit. And here, this is an unfortunate bounce for Dani Visser, and yeah, Paulo Neto is going to convert. That is a really tough pill to swallow as well. Imagine if you were drawing at this point. I think Dani Visser probably already taken his loss at this point, being 10 men, down to 10 men, and also still chasing the game. But that is a tough pill to swallow. Good shot cancel though from Paulo Neto, who was just going to anticipate the goalkeeper movement from Dani Visser with that shot cancel. Took his time, saw that the far corner was open. Very good goal in the end. But now Dani Visser, with 5 minutes remaining, is probably just going to throw a couple Hail Marys here with the R1 dribbling. Try to pass a couple players. That isn't the prettiest passes from Paulo Neto. Should normally take his time to actually play out the game, not lose possession that much. But that's not his strength. He's a Brazilian. They want to play samba. They want to go forward. R9 trying to look for a cross here. Does win the ball up high again. Does Danny Fisser, and what a cross. That was a low cross. You have to press double square for that one. Ginola with a gentle touch there to the ball, but it was a good save in the end. And yeah, we're going to see the last moment for Danny Fisser here. Maybe he can still get back a goal. Here's Putellas. Oh, shouldn't have passed that. Should have taken a bit more time. But that was a lot of chances actually still for Danny Fisser when down to 10 men. Gotta respect that. Hope you guys learned something from this gameplay. I'll see you guys in the next video. Ciao, ciao.